I used to hit balls like this all the time, bud. I used to get in there like this, bud. Right here. Yeah. See the contact immediately? That's it. And then for you, a little bit more, not tilting from here, tilting from here. Yeah, exactly. You know what's a great thought for that, by the way? Todd always told me, I love this one. He told me this when when he was down here filming me. He goes, don't look at the ball with your eyes. Look at the ball from your waist. That was a great tip. Yeah. So it's like if I had like a tennis ball right here, I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna go, ooh, there it is. Oh, now I'm down into it. And that's exactly what I'd love to see you do. More like it? That's way more like it, exactly. Yeah, and here's the thing, I would just tell you, one thing that you need that you would be a benefit from greatly, because you have a very good swing, there's two parts of the swing that I look at right away after that setup that strike me right away. I see a little bit low and in off the start, rather than a little bit more of the hinge up this way, a little bit more thumbs up this way, okay? And the last part of that would be, I want you to hammer the nail more. Here's the hammer, here's the nail. More of that, more of that. You're just quick to kind of do one of those right there. That was obviously the extreme of it, but yes. And I would say, like, if I have the club here, exactly, and in a perfect world, do that again, a little bit of that downward pressure in that heel pad there, and you're locked in, have the angle that you're going to need to strike down.
They always wanted this to be this way. Mm-hmm. Now they want it to be this way.
A little more like that.
Yeah, because I guess as people are leaning over more.
That's exactly right. Yeah. It's like, think about it like this. If I'm up here, I'm square there with toe up to that path. Now, if I'm here and I'm here, well, look at this. Same relationship right here. Mm-hmm. That's more here. Now, I will say this. For me personally, from watching a lot of players over the years, right? I'm not looking at guys on the PGA Tour. I could care less about those guys. I care more about the masses out there. On the whole, this is much more devastating than that is right there. Correct. I love to see toes slightly down. Slightly down. I don't want to see this. Yeah. But this right here is totally fine. And this right here to me is just, I'm not a big fan of that at all. Most people don't have the ability to release and hang on to that club face and do that. How about those? You see the contact? It's way better. It's way better. And here, I want you to know this. From the perspective of being face on here, this is important, okay? The minute you're here, and if I take the club back too low to the ground, let's go now from this perspective. It's always going to pass low and underneath my hands. So it'll get inside that way. Next part of that. If I'm too low to the ground here, not a lot of people downcock that and then create the angle they need to, right? What happens is when you get the club more hinge from this angle, hands lower, club head up, well, what's great is now you have the angle of attack to then strike down through the ball. And if you watch this, just getting the golf club from here to that's what gets the golf club up in front of the hands there. So I always tell people, like, your inability, I always say, to get the club straight back isn't always that you're not taking the club. It's not like you're taking the club dead inside. You're just not hinging it enough. Does that make sense?
Which I thought was too early.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could get separation.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, like what we said, the hinge and the turn are together. Yeah. Like this right here is pacing the hinge. So when you watch this, forget my club for a second. My left hand is moving because my left shoulder is moving. So the separation just comes from maintaining the width, right? Now the hinge comes from me using the shoulder to actually push down and away on the heel pad. So I'm just pushing away the whole time, and there's what leverages the golf club. Like I used to work on this, it helps a lot. I always felt like the ideal swing, thinking about that tension that's created between here, right? That rubber band effect of stretching it. I'm pushing down and away on the handle and up and away on the handle. See that? None of my swing is actually taking place back here. I'm just pushing the handle away the whole time. And that's what really leverages that golf club and creates that angle. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that feeling, and then next thing, bud, is this. You get in there like this, with a little bit of that hammering the nail effect, that's what's going to give you that angle of attack. A little more club face control as well. Why club face control, guys? Like right here. When you hammer the nail, the face stays stable. When you let that club go, face is gone. That was better right there. Hear the sound. 1 is this. 2 is this. Shoulder, hands together, and push downward more. Don't give me this look. This is the one I don't want. I want that look. So it's like if I'm holding this golf club on your toe line right here, you should be able to feel that lead shoulder push it away and see how that club gets to parallel to the ground and it's outside that club. That's the big look. So it's like, me just kind of being, exactly. No, you're fine. Like right there. And as long as you do that again, it comes from right here. So it's like you're pushing that away. There it is right there. There it is. So get a good tilt. There you go. Club's going to stay a little more out in front of you. Then hammer that nail. That's your swing. That's what I wanted to see you do. And that right there, has the more of the club face is fully in the ground. And essentially from this perspective here, all I'm getting you to do is from being right here and then up here to here
and that's
and there. Absolutely. I would say let the loft of the club give you the height you want. Let your ball position gradually moving forward. Let your width of stance gradually increasing wider. Those are things that are going to hit the ball higher, not the attempt to try to hit it higher. Now, that was your best swing, and you got extra yards there because you compressed it and because you de-lofted the club more. Your recipe is this, and it's to narrow it down for you. It's looking at the ball not from your eyes, but from your waist. Okay, from there, we have the leverage necessary then to hinge the golf club. It's then using the shoulder and hands and pushing down and away on the handle to create that. The tendency for you is this. We don't want that. We want to see this. If you get this look here, though, you're done. You're going low and in every time because there's no leverage. But you get the leverage because the good forward tilt. Perfect domino effect to be able to then to hinge the club. Last thing right there is you getting the butt of the club, feeling more of the hammering the nail effect, which then creates the angle of attack. But the good news for you is, guess what? If I had you trying to hammer the nail with no angle here, picking it clean the whole time, yeah. And the last thing that I will show you that will take it over the edge was a drill that I always used to do. All right, ready? Here's the drill. I used to hit balls like this all the time, Bubba. I used to get in there like this, bud. Right here. And the whole point of my dad having me do that drill was to just understand not only the direction the hinge needed to happen more. And here's the thing. I have videos out that teach it for what it actually is. And then I have videos out that'll teach the person in front of me what they need to feel in order to make what actually needs to happen. So let's not get this confused here. The actual for everybody is this. Everything hinges at a 45-degree angle, right here. If I were to hinge at 45 and then turn, look where the club goes, right down the line. That's perfect. That's right where I need to be. Now, for somebody who's in here naturally, you can't have them feel anything in that direction. It needs to feel like what? Up to the nose. So when a drill that I actually turned into a rehearsal was this. I had my players just hinge it up here and then turn. Now here's the key. Don't lift your arms up. The hands stay low and just the club leverages up. And then I turn. Well, that happens to be where I need it. So what I would do is I would do that and turn, and I would educate myself on what that felt like. So here's how I do it, in order. I'd go, okay, there. Memorize the feeling, and then just try to get back there. And that's a familiar feel for me. And then once I felt that enough, it was like, okay. And then watch, when I do that, I still get right there. But for you, I love this. I love you trying to then get back to there. And then just be slow. You do a couple rehearsals here, and then right back to. Just do that real quick. Like, stop it out there, turn and hit it from the top. Go to the top and hit it. You see what I'm saying about the contact, though? I know that was a millimeter heavy, but the club was in the ground. And that's what I wanted you to see. And I know you weren't prepared to hit that golf ball, but that was exactly what I want you to feel. Great drill for you right there. Yeah. See the contact immediately? I mean, the compression just gets, yeah. And once again, it's a great drill. That'll be, on our membership, that's one of our go-to drills, a set turn go for you. Cool, let's work on that for a little bit, okay? Hey, it's a good start though, bud. Hey, it's good stuff, good stuff.
At Forzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.